WBQP radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. It's Friday, y'all. Friday. It's the weekend. Rob Hill would say the weekend in Pensacola is made for each other, y'all. Yeah, it is the weekend. All right, y'all. Good morning. Lord have mercy. This week went by fast and fast as the furious, y'all. Yeah, it did. Went by fast and furious. I want to say good morning to everybody that's under the sound of my voice this morning. And we want to start off the Friday show like we always starts off, okay? We always starts off and we tell everybody how to get the show. Y'all pass the word on. If you're on social media, make sure that you tell the folks that we're on. If you're on Facebook, like, subscribe, and share, okay? Like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody that we are on this morning, okay? And just pass it along. And if you're looking at TV, I go through the whole litmus test every day about how to get Morning with Vernon. It's a little opportunity for everybody to have it. Yay! Yeah, it's Saturday morning. Y'all got your coffee on this? You got your coffee this morning? That's the first thing you need to do is get up and get your coffee, right? I got my cup right here, y'all. Miss Pruitt, you got your coffee this morning, sugar? You got it? I know you do. You got your coffee this morning. God bless this T. What it called? Thank goodness it's Friday. TGIF. Well. All righty, y'all. Yes, sir. Good morning, Miss Allen Young. How you doing? Yeah, everybody. Vito, are you listening this morning? A whole bunch of folks listening this morning. And we want to say good morning to everybody under the sounds of our voices. Y'all want to go over what we're going to have this morning for a good show? You know, the format is pretty much the same, but we got little guests and stuff like that you want to be able to talk about. We got Miss Cheryl Moraine on this morning. She got hopefully we got the weekend weather for Miss Cheryl. She's gonna give us the outlook for the weekend and see whether or not we should put on that bikini and go to the beach this morning. We got some rough seas out there. We're gonna talk about that. So you might not want to get out there in that water because they're going to have to start raising the red flag. Yeah, Miss Pruitt, I see you. You got your coffee this morning. I see it right now. Is it Fogus, Black Diamond? What you call it? Is it good to the last drop? Oh, yeah. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening, y'all, in the news this morning. This headline stuff. And hopefully we can get some community information passed along to you this morning, and public services announcements passed along to you this morning, and hopefully we can get one tribute of Black history in this morning. Yeah, what you want to say to me, Sugar? The Sugar want to say something.
Welcome to WBQP TV, the voice of the Black community. We are your information station. Stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Sugar. I appreciate that. Well, we're gonna be we're gonna start the show off at 7:45. We're gonna have Mrs. Sandra Faye on. She's talking about these things that would keep you healthy, y'all. She's talking about the different kinds of teas and natural remedies that you may pay attention to. Okay, you want to pay attention to, because in her world, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
All right, y'all. That's what we're talking about. That what we're gonna happen at 7:45. You want to get to know Miss Sandra Faye, okay? All right, y'all. We got a special guest, y'all, at 8 o'clock. We're talking about Juneteenth coming in, and last week I talked to Reverend Marcel Davis. Y'all remember Marcel Davis? He talked a little bit about what's happening on Juneteenth on June 19th day. He bringing in the big gun, Mr. Troy Rafferty. Mr. Troy Rafferty is a local attorney in town here with the Levin Papio law firm. He might be on his own now, I think. I don't know, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But anyway, he's the one that helps sponsor these activities that affect the Black community, and we want to thank him for that. He have the Living in January, and during MLK, he sponsored the Living the Dream event every year. He sponsors Juneteenth every year, and also the Fred Levin Way event that he sponsors. So we're going to be talking to him. Also, we're going to be talking to our sheriff this morning, Sheriff Chip Simmons. He's going to give us a sheriff report on what's happening in Okaloosa County. I sure hope I don't get any Trump derangement syndrome today. I want to try to avoid that. Don't forget, political season is still up and running. Okay, up and running. We're gonna have to be cautious of that. The grandstand down is gone, so I want to get rid of that this morning. But anyway, y'all, you know what? It's
Good
Friday.
morning. It's Friday. The weekend and Pensacola are made for
each other, Vernon. Before going to the beach, give us the headlines.
All righty, you will get the headlines. You'll get the headlines in just a few minutes, y'all. But before we get into those headlines, can we go and take a real commercial break? And when we come back, y'all, we're gonna get into those headlines. Okay, stay tuned. Tell everybody, morning with Vernon. Get your coffee and relax and sit back. Okay, morning.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
You are listening and watching WBQP TV and radio. Keep it locked.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Tune in to the Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on WBQP TV.
For 35 years, WBQP TVV Radio has been the unwavering voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast. Your community information station. WBQP has been the voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast for 35 years.
Welcome to WBQP TV, the voice of the Black community. We are your information station. Stay tuned.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
For 35 years, WBQP TVV Radio has been the unwavering voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast. Your community information station.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission, just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
Make sure you download the WBQP TV app, available on most streaming devices.
Tune in to the Blues Hound Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. on WBQP TV.
WBQP TV and WBQP Radio are the voice of the Black community in Pensacola.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, your information station.
So what day is the meeting? Fun day.
With daily draw games starting at $1, every day shall henceforth be known as Fun Day.
Every day's Fun Day with Pick Games, featuring drawings twice a day. The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Good morning. This is J.O. Gatson of the Emmaus Baptist Church, Pensacola, Florida. And we've come to pray with you on this Faithful Friday, TGIF Friday. And we're just grateful to the Lord that He has seen fit to see us through. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come praying words of prayer, sacred words of prayer, and to say thank you because we love you. We thank you for this Faithful Friday because you brought us right up to the weekend. And we owe it all to you. We've gone through lots this week, dear God, but we owe it all to you. And thank you for bringing us thus far. And Lord, we pray that you'll prepare our hearts for Sunday's worship, the Sabbath, and that you'll vow in our hearts to be all that you would have us to be, that we will come together as saints on Sunday in our designated places of worship. Lord, this is our prayers. We pray in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord, our Savior, the only God we know. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer. We've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
WBQP TV Radio wants you to be prepared for the hurricane season.
Best in Southern Soul and oldies and goodies music videos, tune to WBQP Radio.
I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I stated, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, and we have safer schools. Our students are college and career ready, and we've closed the achievement gap. I'm asking for your support to re-elect me, David Williams, as your school board representative for District 3. Please visit my Facebook page as well as my campaign website at davidwilliams3.com. Thank you.
Hi, Vernon. Here's a look at your weekend weather forecast. We start with Friday, featuring partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures across the area. Highs will reach around 85 degrees with overnight lows near 73. Rain chances remain very low at just 10%, a pleasant start to the weekend. Saturday turns a bit more unsettled. Expect mostly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers throughout the day. Temperatures remain warm with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 74. By Sunday, we stay warm and humid with mostly cloudy skies and a 50% chance of rain. Highs will climb back to 85 degrees with overnight lows around 74. And looking ahead to your Monday morning commute, temperatures will already be in the upper 70s before warming up to a high near 87 degrees later in the day. This is Cheryl Moraine, and that's your weekend weather forecast on WBQP TV.
Welcome to WBQP TV, the voice of the Black community. We are your information station. Stay tuned.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Mrs. Colston, Miss Gina Vito. Now, nobody know what that means but me and her, unless she get drunk and tell somebody and get in trouble. But good morning, sugar. You know you my sugar. All right. Good morning, everybody. Miss Womack, you and Miss Janice. Miss Janice, you and how you doing, sugar? This morning. Everybody's on the sound of my voice this morning. Like I say, share it on Facebook. If you're on social media, you're on YouTube, wherever you're getting this thing from, let everybody know that we are on this morning, and we'll try to do it our way, y'all. We'll do it our way. Yes, sir. I want to say good morning to everybody here. Let's go. Yeah, I guess we're gonna try to get into some of the headlines stuff that's in the news this morning, and we'll see if we can bring some of those headlines in this morning. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do this.
It's Friday, the weekend, and Pensacola are made for
each other. Vernon, before going to the beach, give us the headlines.
All right, I want to try to give you the headline, Bubba and Mrs. Bubba. All right, y'all. Good morning. Now, I was telling y'all about going to the beach this morning. Y'all got to be really, 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 really careful out there, because the rip current, the weather pattern, I guess, has made it real dangerous out there. Okay, for the beach. If you go out there on your own risk, they got the red flag raised out there, and sometimes they raise what they call the double red flag. And that means you don't need to get into that. You don't need to get in that water out there, because it is dangerous out there. So please don't do that, okay? Don't do that, because you're gonna be in some real trouble, y'all, if you will. All right, let's talk about some Florida law that bars certain sex offenders from living within 1,000 the beaches and the pools. Y'all, we got some new laws in Florida that coming out, but they got a new law that goes into effect July 1st that limit where a sexual offender can live. We know that, okay? I already know that. They can't be close to schools. They can't be close to playgrounds and certain stuff like that. Now they saying that they can't be 1,000 feet of a public pool within Florida. Anybody been convicted of any certain sex crime or crimes against children 16 and under will no longer be allowed to be within 1,000 feet of a pool. Okay, so it didn't come without criticism, y'all. Some folks criticizing the law. They saying that it could cause unintended consequences. Some parents say that they're thankful for the bigger buffer, but other folks saying that it's a problem, and it may be challenged. It may be challenged, but we'll see what happens. But that law goes in effect on July 1st. Okay, it was Senate Bill 212. And it's designed to protect children. So if you want to know a little more about that law, y'all, you need to check out Florida statutes and get it from the other news sources. They can get a little bit more in details about what's happening in the news there. Okay. Again, when we was talking about that, make sure we were talking about the high seas. If you go out on the beach, I know a lot of folks want to go out on the beach this morning, because they got high seas and strong currents out there, and they want to keep you out of the water, y'all. They want to keep you completely out of the water if you can. They got an accident that was happening. If I can find this, give me a second here. I want to find this story. An accident that happened either last night. I think it was last night. I can't remember when it was, but it seriously injured a 22-year-old biker, sports biker, if you will, okay, sports biker that had a crash with a truck, a dump truck, and you know when anything in a vehicle gets involved, okay, anything that the truck is always going to win. You know that, okay? Truck is always going to win with that. But in this incident here, a 22-year-old Pensacola man was seriously injured after crashing his sports bike. That was some kind of motorcycle, I guess, into a truck. Okay. Now, according to the Florida Highway Patrol, they say that that motorcyclist was traveling westbound on Lee Street, and he said that he drove past a stop sign at the intersection on North T Street, and he hit a Ford F-150. So, again, if you heard me say this once, you'll heard me say this 1,000 times, okay? And I think this time, it was the bikers' problem. But they ought to, and cars are hard to see sometimes. Bikes are extra hard to see. So you got to drive for yourself and everybody else. Again, I always advocate, why don't they require strobe lights on bikes? I keep saying this to the day I die. As big as a damn bus is, okay, and as yellow it is, for warning, okay. They got strobe lights on buses. That strobe light kind of blink you, get your attention. If you had a bike, had a strobe light on it, it might would get in the driver's attention. It might save lives, but what do I know? What do I know? I don't know. They just they don't tell me. They say they don't tell me nothing. All right, let's go on to another story here, y'all. This Pensacola family here, y'all. It's a sad story, and y'all please be careful out there, and then monitor what your children are doing and your grandchildren are doing out there. This family lost their daughter to fentanyl, y'all, and they're gonna have a summit trying to warn people about the danger of fentanyl use. And you hear a lot about fentanyl. And you say, why do people die from fentanyl? More than 50,000 people died in 2024 from fentanyl. And now, fentanyl is kind of it's stronger. They say now that it's stronger than opioid. It's a synthetic opioid, okay? And it is, they say now, it is 50 times stronger than heroin. Think about that. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Boy, and that's according to the Center for Disease Control. If you can believe them, it's hard to believe what comes out of this administration mouth, but that's what they're saying, okay? And only have to take it at face value. You need to take it at face value because fentanyl is dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous. A small amount of fentanyl can be fatal. And this young lady apparently, her name was Lakeisha Davis, I believe, and her mother name, I think, is Khalees Davis. They're trying to turn pain into purpose, y'all. And they're trying to prevent other people because they lost their daughter. They lost her name was Jayla Michelle, and she was a singer. She was an athlete. She loved to go to church, and more than all, she was 16 years old, y'all. And actually she performed one time down at they sang the national anthem down at the Blue Wahoo game. And she died at age 21 after taking a pill laced with fentanyl. And now this family trying to come to terms with it, but they're holding a form, and they're trying to warn people of the danger of this drug here, okay? Trying to warn people of the danger. So please be careful, y'all. Please be careful out there with that. All right, let's go on to another story here, if you will. This Pensacola woman, now, she got a past felony arrest and was charged after trying to break in a car on video. Jesus. 35-year-old Pensacola woman, y'all, caught on camera burglarizing the car at a food mart. Now, y'all, if you don't know anything, cameras are everywhere, crooks. I don't know. Maybe people are desperate. If you don't know that cameras are everywhere, I mean everywhere, you're gonna get caught. They're catching people in real time on crime, and that's what happened to her, Mrs. Sierra. She had, but she's a career. Obviously, she's a career criminal. Allegedly, she's a career criminal. According to the sheriff officer, she had been arrested more than 32 times. So, but anyway, in this incident, she got caught on surveillance camera outside of one of those Circle K food market, and she was seen in a white SUV with a passenger parked next to white SUV, and she tried to sneak in and tried to, cause the vehicle was unlocked. And that's another thing, y'all. Officer Mike Woods and I talked about that on Monday. Make sure that your car is locked. I don't care if you're going for 5 minutes in the store. Lock your car. Lock your car when you're in your driveway. Lock your car, because these are what we call crimes of opportunity. People come by and just hold up the doorknob and see if the court door is unlocked. If it's unlocked, they'll go in and take anything of value that they can see that they can steal. So please, if you learn nothing else from this broadcast, lock your door. Okay, lock your door. And if you learn nothing else from this woman here, lock your door, even though she was caught on camera. Okay, she was caught on camera. That's all right. But, you know, the inconvenience that you have to go through and filing sheriff reports, and you went in there just for 5 minutes because I know you went in real quickly to do something. So that means you were in a hurry. And now you delayed now for an hour because somebody stole your car. You got to call the police, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Let me go on to another story here. I'm sick of hearing this story here, y'all. I really am sick about hearing about this story. This is the USS United States, y'all. They're trying to float this thing as a reef down out over in Destin, Florida, and people you know, that they're fighting it on one hand because they think the USS United States should be saved. The other folks say no, we're going to sink it off of the coast of Destin there for a reef and so forth, and we still talking about it. They took it to Mobile and to take all of the stuff out of it, I guess. But it's an ocean liner. It used to be an ocean liner some years ago. It was it was built, I think, back in the 1950s. And it was probably one of the fastest transatlantic ships that was crossing during its day. And now they want to dismantle. They are dismantling. There ain't no crime, so they can put it out in the Gulf near Destin area as an artificial reef, and so they can have the bragging rights that Northwest Florida over in Okaloosa County has the largest artificial reef there is, and that is the USS United States. It cost the project costing $13 million. Okay, but they got to get the approval from the government, from the Army Corps of Engineers and the EPA before they can actually sink the thing. But you got other people up in Washington D.C. and another lady or somebody up in New York is fighting hard not to make that happen. Okay, just keep your eyes out on that story. If that story interests you, I'll be glad when they make up their mind on what they're gonna do about that. All right, let's go on to this Pensacola man. Now, this is a crazy ass story here, y'all. Oh, crazy story. Okay, just listen for this. Just listen at this. I don't know, 52-year-old man, right? 52-year-old man. He grabbed a woman's 3-year-old from her. It was outside of a church, and he started kissing all over the baby's face. I mean, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you how they say it started. This man's name is Joseph Perry. He was arrested and charged with false imprisonment of a child under 13. But according to the report, this lady came out of church. It must have been on Sunday morning, y'all, in church. And so she went to church with her 3-year-old son, and they had a food pantry service at the church. And upon getting her food, this man, Perry, Joseph Perry, he volunteered to help her get her groceries into the car, right? And then when after he got all the groceries into the car, so he asked the woman for a hug, and the woman declined him. And so he then picked up the 3-year-old child and started hugging and holding and hugging and kissing all over the child's face. And it said kissing him everywhere, head, cheeks, everywhere. And so the woman thought that was freaking, she was trying to get her son back, and she grabbed for her son, and he turned around, like he didn't want to let her son go. So there was a tug of war for him and her son, her 3-year-old son. And so naturally they called the police, and this idiot is sitting in jail for doing something stupid, but according to the sheriff's office, though, I don't know what that was all about. Okay. But some folks say he had been involved in other incidents with children, but according to the jail records, he had never been arrested before. So we don't know what all going on. But all I do know is that he was in jail on a $50,000 bond. He's out. I guess I don't know what he bailed out, but I know that's his bond is set for $50,000, y'all. Sure is. All right, let's go on to the next story, y'all. There's us again, y'all. 2 arrests was made. This is over in Okaloosa County, over in Crestview. 2 arrests was made after the Crestview cops made a traffic stop. What did I tell y'all? I don't understand. People are going to do crooked things and get away with the worst things and then get pulled over for a traffic violation and then get caught with the stupid things. Okay, but anyhow, the Crestview Police Department, they pulled them over, and they got found them with fentanyl, some cash, and a handgun. So it was, I don't know why we only got one picture of it. You think the other guy was white? I don't know. But anyhow, 2 men was arrested in a traffic stop, and they were suspected of having fentanyl, cash, and a handgun, and which was equipped with an illegal machine gun converter device. Okay. And so the suspect, Nassar Wright and Christopher Rogers, was charged. And Rogers was charged with resisting an officer without violence. Okay. And so they're charged on trafficking fentanyl. They were charging having possession of a machine gun and drug paraphernalia and resisting arrest without violence. So this sits in jail in Crestview, Florida. Okay. So, and again, if I say, if you're gonna be, I guess that's why dumb criminals get caught. Okay. Dumb criminals get caught because they're gonna do some dumb things and then get pulled over because they were speeding. I don't know about that. So I ain't trying to teach you how to get away with no crime, but Lord, help me. Help me understand this, okay? Help me understand this. All right, let's go on to another story about Florida is trying to determine what they're going to do about these takeovers. These sheriffs are now getting, I'm going to talk to Sheriff Morgan this morning. I mean, Sheriff Simmons this morning, Chip Simmons, about these takeovers. He avoided several of them here in Escambia County because they got wind of these things going to take over. They were going to try to take over Pensacola Beach one time, And so Sheriff some of them got stopped. But remember, they did have a takeover at the mall. And so this is a fad that's going around the country. Those kids wreaking havoc and taking over things. They had one over I reported one this morning over in Crab Island, over in Fort Walton Beach as well. So all I can say is, Lord help them. Okay, Lord help us. All right, let's go on to another story here, if you will, that is in the headlines or in the news. A lady that was murdered or disappeared, if you will, from the University of West Florida probably 47 years ago. So UWF is unveiling a memorial plaque honoring her. She was a student there back in 1979. Her name was Barbara Boquith, and she went missing on December 5th, 1979. And so witnesses say that she left the classroom to grab something from a car and was never seen again. But they found the car at the Pensacola airport, but they never found her. So the plaque will be unveiled in her memory. I think they did it. I think it was doing it yesterday, and the plaque is going to be, I think, going to be placed at the College of Business and in the John C. Pake library. Okay. All righty. All right. The next story here is for you fishermen out there. If you're into fishing, there's probably some good news for you, because they finding that amberjacks are beginning to gain higher in population in the Gulf. And so that raises some hopes for that we can have some a little bit longer fishing seasons here on the Gulf Coast. So they got I guess these people study everything. They got a project they call the Great Amberjack Count. That was a study studying the number of how many amberjacks and what the population of amberjacks is based on the reef, the fishing reefs, and that lives in the species that lives on these fishing reefs and so forth. And so they spent a lot of money. They spent $11.4 million of federal money studying stuff like this, okay? And then people are hungry. Okay. I would say that get the $11 million and give everybody some fishing equipment, and then go out there and catch the fish so they can eat. Or spend that $11 million on the poor that they can have housing. Anyhow, but who am I? Who am I? I'm just a commenter. I'm just a commenter on the news. This man here, he's a Democrat, y'all. He's a dumb. I don't want to go there with that ignorant Trump will call him. You know what he called him. Okay, but I'm not even, I'm not even going there. But anyhow, he got a good chance of unseating Susan Collins up in, I think it's up in Maine. But Lord have mercy. Democrats, can we catch a break anywhere? We can't catch a break nowhere. Okay. So he come with so much controversy that I don't know what's gonna happen in this race, okay? But we were trying to take back the reign of power in Congress and take back the reign of power in the Senate. And so Susan Collins, she's been there for 100 years, and she's still running again for another term. But I think that's the way she talked, y'all. Y'all know, you know what I'm talking about with Miss Susan, Collins. You know who I'm dealing with. Okay, y'all. Let's go to another story. If you like racing, if you like to have fun, then you probably want to go out to the Five Flag Speedway, okay? Five Flag Speedway. They announced their summer weekend getaway. They got what they call a Coca-Cola Twin 100 doubleheader. And so, is that thing that floats your boat? Go on, Bubba, cause I like cars and stuff like that. But I don't know, I don't like it that well for me to sit in the stand and to watch cars go around in circles for 250 times. I don't like it that well. But for folks that do, I don't know, each to his own, each to his own. But they got a weekend schedule out there. So for the folks that into that on today, I think it's not today, but I think it's next week on June 12th. They're gonna have a kickoff there at the Five Flags Center. So on mark your calendar for June 12th and 13th there. It's considered your summer weekend getaway fun, what you consider your fun weekend, okay? A fun weekend there. All right, yeah. Let's go on to another story here. This lady here, they're saying that the Pensacola doctors is now warning that the Gulf Coast heats can turn dangerous. So if you're out there at the beach, y'all, you're out there at the beach, be careful because doctors are giving you, they are forewarning you now, it could be dangerous. All right, let's go on to another story. Florida has 8 of the 10 deadliest highway motorcyclist crashes, okay? And, it's always amazing to me. At one time, I don't drive motorcycles either, but I'm always comment on stuff I don't know nothing about. But I'm just looking at it from a common sense point of view, okay? Now, if Florida is 8 out of 10 deadliest highway crashes for motorcyclists, okay? But yet, we don't require them to wear a helmet, okay? I knew at one time in the state of Florida, there was a law that requires you, if you're riding a motorcycle, to wear a helmet. They repealed that law. And I don't, maybe they're smarter than I am. I don't understand why, and maybe they're thinking that, well, hell, if you get in a motorcycle crash, what the helmet gonna do? You're gonna crash it up? I don't know. But all I know is I think it'll protect you from a head injury, maybe, but it is what it is, okay? And people that drive motorcycles, y'all, they need to be responsible too. I see they do some crazy, because they're real maneuverable, and they can do some things. They weave in and out of traffic, and I didn't realize too that they can do that. They can weave in and out and go between cars where a car can't do, but the reason the car can't do it because it's too big to do it, but a motorcycle can. And so we always reporting every week on either the death of somebody on the motorcycle, or we reporting on somebody getting injured. We just reported just the other day somebody zooming down the Chappie James Bridge and did flip something, but at least it wasn't a casualty for that. But anyway, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. All right, here, y'all. This is where a 60-year-old man, he was killed in a head-on accident, over in Okaloosa County. Okay, again, I hate reporting all this kind of stuff, but he was on State Road 285. That's near mile marker 10 there near the interstate or whatever, just in that general area there. He crossed the center line and collided head on with the land road. Okay, so he died there on the scene. They had there was two people that was in the Land Rover, the 40-year-old Fort Walton Beach man and his 11-year-old son from Fort Walton Beach, but they sustained injuries, but they survived. But the 60-year-old man succumbed to his injury. All right, let's move on to a different story here, y'all. And I'll be wrapping up soon. Y'all know it's voting time. I say again, check your voting status. Okay, check your voting status. They're trying to look at things that, well, keep you from voting, okay? Such as when hopefully you don't have long lines, so you make sure that you mail in ballots so that you don't stand in line, because they don't want you to bring you water or anything to, if you get out of line, you might lose your term in line, okay? Yeah. So make sure you be aware of that. Now they're thinking about AI. They said that AI got what they call a red and blue divide. They got a chat box that is exposing the highest among workers in the Democratic counties. They got a new research now showing that Democrats might be more affected than Republicans by wave of changing coming from AI. Okay, AI is everything. You hear everything. Now, the Brookings Institute found that 62 out of every most AI exposed counties went blue in 2024 in the presidential election. So all this, I want to get into all this story because it's boring to me, but please be aware. Be aware of your voting status and opportunities, so we can try to let's take back America. Let's take back America. All right. Now the House passed a bill yesterday, I believe yesterday, to send some aid to Ukraine, and then they put a few more sanctions on Russia. And I guess your boy Trump don't like that, but they're beginning to see just a little thing that they putting opposition in it. The only reason you seeing these changes now, y'all, because the Democrats, you got all these Democrats for it, but now since Trump made enemies and primaried 4 or 5 of his Republican buddies, okay, so they're going to be out of office. So now they're getting back at Trump, saying, "Okay, bastard, we'll get you." Okay, we are going to vote with the Democrats now. Okay, and so we got whatever time we remain in office, we're going to vote with the Democrats, and we're going to hold you in the check. You know, revenge go more than just one way. Trump, always remember that. So that is what's happening right now. So all those Republicans that was loyal to his ass, okay, now finding out that cow horns do really hook. Okay, that's what we used to say in the country. You don't believe cow horns are hook. You know, all these folks like Susan Collins, I think he'll do a little better. I voted for him and I voted with his platform. But she's saying she won't do better. But anyway, he done ousted a lot of those folks, and now they're beginning to now trying to get back at him because the primary they can't seek office again because they've been voted out in their primaries. And so now they're getting together with the Democrats to make things happen. There is a God. Okay. There is a God. Okay. All right. Let me move on. Let me move on to another story before I run out of I run out of time. Y'all, have you heard anything about the Nancy Guthrie story again? It's amazing how much stuff can stay in the news for so long, and after a while they just drop out. So I hadn't heard much about that. I hadn't heard much about the Epstein files anymore. So y'all keep at it. Iran. Okay. Now your boy underestimated Iran. They fighting again. Okay. Again, this peace talk and all this other kind of stuff that they talking about. I don't know, but they're not close to a plan. Trump want one, but he's so stupid. You can't believe nothing coming out of his mouth. And I don't know whether you can believe anything coming out of Iran, but I tend to believe Iran more than I believe him, because they have proven to be right so far. Everything Trump said never come to pass, and what he says they deny, and so obviously it never come to pass. So they must be telling the truth. So, but they got no progress made in that negotiation, and in fact they back fighting again. So when this war ends, we don't know. Okay, we don't know when it's going to end. All right, y'all. Those are some news items that we covered today. Today is Friday. Okay, today is Friday. Don't forget what we got coming up next, if you will. We got Miss Sonya Faze is coming up at 7:45. We're gonna try to get into a little bit of try to throw a little tidbit of Black history in before we get to Mrs. Sonya Faze. She's gonna be talking about her tea of the week. And at 8 o'clock, we hopefully will be talking to Troy Rafferty and Reverend Marcel Davis about the upcoming Juneteenth celebration. And then at 8:30, hopefully we'll be talking to Sheriff Chip Simmons. And before we get out of here, hopefully we'll be getting a little bit about what's going on in the in around town in terms of public service announcement, community news, and stuff like that, y'all. Okay. All righty. I tell you what, y'all, I gotta take another commercial break, but when we come back, hopefully we're gonna be getting into some community news, and we're gonna then follow up with that with Sonya Faze Botanical, and then after that, our special guest.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
For 35 years, WBQP TVV Radio has been the unwavering voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast. Your community information station. WBQP has been the voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast for 35 years.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
For best in Southern Soul and oldies and goodies music videos, tune to WBQP Radio.
Day or night, your loved ones show up for you. At HCA Florida Healthcare, we do too. Because you're the center of our family, Florida's largest healthcare family. And you'll feel it in everything we do. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your men wear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, your information station.
So what day is the meeting? Fun day.
With daily draw games starting at $1, every day shall henceforth be known as Fun Day.
Every day's Fun Day with Pick Games, featuring drawings twice a day. The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
You are listening and watching WBQP TV and radio. Keep it locked.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission. Just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
WBQP TV and WBQP Radio are the voice of the Black community in Pensacola.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
Good morning. This is J.O. Gatson of the Emmaus Baptist Church, Pensacola, Florida. And we've come to pray with you on this Faithful Friday. TGIF Friday. And we're just grateful to the Lord that he has seen fit to see us through. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come praying words of prayer, sacred words of prayer, and to say thank you because we love you. We thank you for this faithful Friday because you brought us right up to the weekend. And we owe it all to you. We've gone through lots this week, dear God, but we owe it all to you. And thank you for bringing us thus far. And Lord, we pray that you'll prepare our hearts for Sunday's worship, the Sabbath, and that you'll vow in our hearts to be all that you would have us to be, that we will come together as saints on Sunday in our designated places of worship. Lord, this is our prayers. We pray in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord, our Savior, the only God we know. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Good morning, Vernon. They say Pensacola and the weekends are made for each other. Well, this is your WBQP weekend weather forecast to help you plan your weekend. Friday. High, 84 degrees. Low, 73, 84 degrees. Chance of rain, 70%. Mostly cloudy and humid with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. Heavy rainfall may lead to localized flooding in low-lying areas. Don't forget your raincoat. Saturday. High, 85 degrees. Low, 71 degrees. Chance of rain, 50%. Warm and humid.
Hi, Vernon. Here's a look at your weekend weather forecast. We start with Friday, featuring partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures across the area. Highs will reach around 85 degrees with overnight lows near 73. Rain chances remain very low at just 10%, a pleasant start to the weekend. Saturday turns a bit more unsettled. Expect mostly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers throughout the day. Temperatures remain warm with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 74. By Sunday, we stay warm and humid with mostly cloudy skies and a 50% chance of rain. Highs will climb back to 85 degrees with overnight lows around 74. And looking ahead to your Monday morning commute, temperatures will already be in the upper 70s before warming up to a high near 87 degrees later in the day. This is Cheryl Moraine, and that's your weekend weather forecast on WBQP TV.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer. We've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Morning with Vernon this morning. Hopefully we're gonna be talking to Mrs. Valerie Boyd of Sonia Faye's Botanica, y'all. Sometimes she like to sleep in the morning and she sleep over. But anyway, while we're waiting on Mrs. Joan, let's talk about what's going to happen over the weekend, y'all. They got something that you probably want to go to. Is called Beaks for Babies Bingo. Beaks for Babies for Bingo. I got Miss Sonya Faye. Good morning, Miss Sonya Faye. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you ready to go on? All right, stand by, y'all. But anyway, they got a Beaks for Babies bingo going on tomorrow at I believe it's going to be at the Woodland over there. So we'll get back to these public service announcements. I got to get Miss Sonya Faye on this morning. She's going to talk about all of these good herbal teas and remedies that she has. So, all right. Good morning. I think I got you on. Good morning, Valerie. All right, hang on for a second. Let me get you on the phone here. That's why I like for you to zoom in, because sometimes I have to do some extra steps to get you on the okay. Are you able to hear me now? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, go ahead then. What's your report?
Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said you. So go ahead on with your report.
Okay, all right. Well, this is Valerie with Sonya Faye's Botanicals. And Sonya Faye's Botanicals is an herb shop where I hand make all my sea moss in different flavors. I do different herbal tea remedies like detox and weight loss and parasite cleanse and liver and kidney and blood cleanse, all types of stuff. I have teas for hot flashes. I have teas for men's performance, even PCOS. So I have about 30 different teas. I also have soursop leaves. I have different bulk herbs. I have over 80 different bulk herbs. We have the lowest prices in town, and we are located at 9216 North Palafox Street, but it's not downtown. It's Old Palafox behind Walmart on Highway 29, about 2 blocks away from KFC on 9 Mile Road. The product that I wanted to talk about today is soursop fruit extract. Have you ever heard of soursop?
No. No, I never heard of it.
So soursop is an exotic fruit, and the plants, the soursop doesn't grow in the U.S. except for like the southernmost tip of Miami, because it has to be tropical weather. But soursop fruit, first of all, it tastes delicious. It tastes like it could be bananas and pineapples mixed together in ice cream or something. It's really good. But soursop fruit is really high in vitamin C. It supports your immune system. It reduces inflammation, has antimicrobial properties. It can help with blood pressure and blood sugar. So it's really just an amazing fruit. But not only is the fruit great, so is the leaves. So we have the leaves, we have the fruit extract, and we have soursop drinks. And we have
You still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we have those soursop drinks. Those drinks are only $4. The extract is only $15, and the leaves are only $10. And you just steep the leaves like you would make any kind of tea. And the leaves have anti-cancer properties. They help you rest at night. So soursop is really amazing. Most people hadn't heard of it, but if you get a chance, Google it, and so you can see all of the many, many benefits of it.
Okay, very good. So you better tell them. You must be sleeping this morning. You got to tell them where you at and how can you find all the good stuff this morning. Phone number, contact, because can they order it off the line? Talk to us.
All right. So I don't ship anything cold. I don't ship the sea moss gel or the juices, but I will ship tea. But I would much prefer if you come by and do a free consultation with me. Come in and have a free sample, and let's get to know each other. So you can find Sonia Face Botanicals at 9216 Old Palafox Street, behind Walmart on Highway 29. We are about 2 blocks before you get to KFC on 9 Mile Road. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Starting Monday, we're going to start opening until 6. Right today, this weekend, we're still closing at 5, but starting next week, we'll be closing at 6. So that'll give people who get off at 5 a chance to come by. Our phone number is 850-824-8222.
Okay. Now that's one good thing about coming by and seeing you, because people have different ailments, if you will, and then you can kind of recommend which herb that they can use on different things for different ailments, right?
That's right, because a lot of people will come in and they will have it in their mind exactly what they're going to get, but then once we talk, they ended up taking my recommendation to get something that I think that will help them a little bit more than what they thought, you know?
Yeah. Now, one of the things you probably need to come and talk to you about, because you don't want to give some of these herbs might interfere with some of the medication that you got, and so you don't want them to just arbitrarily take things without having some consultation with you, without making sure that it doesn't affect something else.
Exactly. Like, for instance, I have people to come in. Sometimes I have to turn customers away because you can't take CMOS if you're on thyroid medication. Like, that's a good example. You know, on thyroid medication, you can't take CMOS because that's too much iodine. You know, where thyroids need the iodine, but if you're already taking the medication, that's too much iodine. Too much iodine is not good for us. So, you know, it does depend on what medications you're on, and we have to make sure that it's not going to interact with the medication.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. You got anything else for us this morning?
The only other thing I have for you this morning is, you know, Maurice with Mo Treats. Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, so
what you had a question?
No, I was saying Mo Treats, you know, Maurice's Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing a soft opening today. So we want to invite people to come out for his soft opening as well.
Well, give us a little bit of summary for folks that probably hearing this for the first time. Give us a little bit of summary about his business. And located right next to you, right? You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes. Exactly. And he has some healthy options. So, even though it's a bakery, of course, I don't promote sugar, but he has some healthy options. His address is 9218. Now, I'm 9216, and Mo Treats is 9218 Old Palafox Street. He's having his soft grand opening today from 9 to 6, and he has filled up his cases, and he hoping somebody will come see him.
Okay. From 9 to 6. So if you got a sweet tooth, that's where you need to go, huh?
That's right.
Well, but one good thing about it, y'all right next to each other, so you can go in and get some sweet tooth, and he go in and consult with you about eating healthy and so forth. So.
That's right. And there's some particular ones that he made that I made sure they didn't have that sugar, so you can still get some healthy in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Miss Valerie. All right, now this is Miss Valerie, y'all. She's at Sonia's Face Botanica, and she's there every day, Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday is 10 to 6 starting next week. So right now it's 10 to 5. And then Sundays 1 to 4.
Okay. All right, sugar. Well, thank you then. Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, y'all. This is natural, organic, what you call that word? Common genical?
Yeah. Non-comedogenic,
comedogenic.
no preservatives, no additives, no chemicals.
Those are some big words. What that mean? Non-comedogenic.
Non-comedogenic means that something is not going to clog your skin for your pores. For instance, I have this whipped shea butter with castor oil, and it doesn't clog your pores. So if you're using coconut oil, don't use that because it's comedogenic. It clogs your pores.
Okay. See, I learned so much when I talk to you every week. Okay. Thank you.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, now let Miss Valerie Boyd on Sonia Faith Botanical. Go out and see her. She's up on Highway 29. Okay. Thank you.
Sonia Faith Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Faith Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
All right, y'all. That's Miss Sonia Faith Botanical. You know, we at 8 o'clock time frame, y'all. We are should be talking. We got some special guests that coming on this morning. We're going to be talking about Juneteenth. We're going to be talking to Mr. Troy Rafferty and Marcel Davis. They are holding a Juneteenth event this weekend. Okay, I mean on Juneteenth. So they'll be checking in just a few minutes, and we want to talk all about what's happening with them. Okay. I want to get back to it. I see my main man is checked in already. That is Dr. Marcel Davis with Unifest. Good morning, Dr. Davis. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. How you feeling this morning?
I am well. I just got through talking about you in a good way now, not behind your back.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that, man. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem.
Yes, indeed.
Not a problem. We know that Juneteenth is coming up. And,
yes, sir.
Have a great celebration. I think we talked a little bit about it last week. We wanted the organizer and the person, one of the people that were responsible to make sure that we have a Juneteenth anniversary that's free for all, right? We don't have to pay no money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is Mr. Troy Rafferty. Did he get the link? Well, I think he confirmed with me that he got the link this morning. Okay?
Yeah, we were just talking about you this morning.
In a good way or bad way?
Boy, tell you, he gonna surprise you because you're gonna be surprised when he do on Saturdays.
Okay.
He listens to the Blues Hound on Saturdays.
Does he listen to the Blues Hound? Oh, you know, if he listens to the Blues Hound, but I hope his pastor don't hear this because he get put out of church if he listens to that old Blues Hound on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, good morning. We got he's come in. Well, good morning, Troy. How you doing this morning? I'm doing well. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Morning with Vernon. Mr. Rafferty, I wanted folks to get to see your face on here because you do so much for the community, in particular our community. And you know the best part, the thing that you do for us, and you know we got a 4-letter word that describes best in our community, and it's called free. Okay, FREE. And so you got an event that's coming up here and on Juneteenth. And I think that you mainly responsible to making sure that this is happening. And so talk to us about that, if you will.
Well, we're really
and your boat, you know, you got a lot of things you can do with your money, okay? But you decided to help spend it on stuff like this, and we want you to know that it's not going unnoticed. We really appreciate that, okay? And now, correct me if I'm wrong. You got your hands in living the dream in the MLK thing. Then you got your hands in the Fred Leavenworth thing, and all of it impacts our community. But let me let you go ahead and talk for a minute.
Well, I was talking several years ago to Pastor Davis, and talking about all sorts of different issues surrounding our community, surrounding our society, surrounding what our community needs, and where we can help and what we can do, and so we were talking about a lot of different things, but one of these things that kept coming up was this celebration, this Unity Fest. And that's why I love the name Unity Fest, because it's an opportunity for all of us to come together as a community. So many times in our communities right now, in our country right now, it is so divisive. There is so much of a schism between groups of people of every type. And it gets and it can swallow up our communities, and it can build resentments, and it can build despair.
Yeah, right.
To the time of slavery and the Emancipation Proclamation, and the fact is when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, that didn't end slavery. People don't realize that didn't end slavery. Because
it's so true.
And quite frankly, Texas was a place where slave owners were going to, because they felt like it was far enough away from the Union enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation. And so, to get for the fact that in our country, after the Emancipation Proclamation, slavery went on for 2 more years, shows you exactly why these types of holidays, of commemoration, of remembrance, of time to reflect and come together as a community and realize what has happened in the past, so we don't let things happen in the future. And I'll tell you what, and I want it to be a time where everybody can come together. I don't want anybody to walk away from any type of celebration, any type of remembrance, without having that experience, and to see our community when we do all come together, and how strong we are when we are together.
Yeah. I always saying that if you don't, we got to know our history, Mr. Rafferty. We really do need to know our history, because, and I make it a mission every day to mention something about our history, because I say you either learn it or you repeat it. And look like, to me, in this day and time, and in this administration, it appears that look like we're going backwards instead of going forward. And so we're going to have to stay vigilant, and we got to. America is a very diverse country. We made of many different immigrants and different groups, and that's what makes America beautiful, if you ask me. Okay, because we all make up this community ourselves. So we're just not made up by one group or another group, but that's what we're coming up on 250 years of celebrating the history of this country, and we all made it great. We all made it great. So we just can't overlook the contribution that was made by other groups in this country, and we have to remember their history, because traditionally their history has not been fairly represented throughout the years.
Well, and one of the things that is striking to me, so I was listening to Elie Wiesel speak one time, a Holocaust survivor, magnificent person. And I remember him being asked the question, could the Holocaust happen again? And I was surprised at his answer, and his answer was, absolutely, it could happen again. I mean, the farther we get away from history, the more it is going to repeat itself. There are people that believe, that don't realize what happened during the Holocaust, don't realize the dangers of segregation and of racism and all of these things. It wasn't that long ago in our society when blacks had to drink out of different drinking fountains, go to different restaurants, sit at different counters, not be allowed to vote, not be allowed anything, any freedom. And it wasn't that long ago when all of that was still happening in our communities. And if we don't remind ourselves of these things, then you are absolutely right. It will repeat itself, and we can't let that happen.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? And I've been floating this crazy idea, but folks think you crazy. It could never happen again. But
I love crazy. I love crazy.
But think about this for a minute, okay? I often think about President Abraham Lincoln, right? He's responsible with a stroke of a pen to getting all of these people out of slavery, okay? It wasn't an act of Congress. It was a stroke of a pen. Now, if he could do that, okay, if he got that much power to do that, so what would keep a crazy president with a stroke of a pen to start enslaving people again, okay? But I'm seeing it gradually going back that direction as opposed to with one full swoop. But we got to be careful about that. So,
that's why it's important. But that's making your point of if we don't learn our history, we will repeat it. And that is. But we can't. But we have to protect our institutions.
Yeah.
Vernon, that's what we have to do. We have to protect the institutions, and that's why we celebrate things like No King's Day. Okay, that's why we do not want. That's why we broke away from the British Empire. We don't want kings. We don't want tyranny. We don't want people telling you whether you can vote, whether you have a voice, whether you are a slave, whether you have freedoms or not. Free. You use the word, that 4-letter word, free.
Free.
And once we can't lose track of our basic concept that we are all free, and we have to do that. We have to remind ourselves of that, and it's through the communities coming together through Unity Fest. Because if we start doubting our institutions, if we start doubting our court system, for example, the court system, which is supposed to be the great equalizer in our society, doesn't matter how much money you got. When you walk into a courtroom, that's one of the beautiful things, and one of the reasons I love being a lawyer. I love being a trial lawyer. I love being in court, because as soon as I walk into a courtroom, it doesn't matter who I am, where I went to school, what the color of my skin is, anything. When I walk into a courtroom, it is supposed to be equal justice for all. And that's what I love about it. But we start to doubt those things when we have divisiveness in our society, in our community. And there's a reason that we have to come together and remind ourselves of how bad things were so that we never go back.
Absolutely. Now Juneteenth is a relatively new holiday for us, I was concerned, among the holidays that we have. But let me ask you this question. When the first time did you hear about Juneteenth?
Oh gosh, I can tell you this, I didn't learn about it in school. I can promise you that.
Exactly.
I grew up, I've lived in Pensacola for 32 years now. And I can tell you, it was when I grew up in Michigan, I didn't know anything about Juneteenth. I guarantee if you ask 100 people on the streets right now what Juneteenth is, they won't know. Hell, you got politicians that don't know about it, that fought against having it be a holiday. I mean, so no, people don't realize that slavery continued after the Emancipation Proclamation. But I will say this also, it was, and the beautiful thing about our institutions, about the three branches of government that we rely upon, our system relies upon, it can't be one person. It can't be a king, a tyrant, a dictator, anything like that. It's got to be the people. And we are all the people. And that's why I work every day, Vernon. I work every day to protect our 7th Amendment. A lot of people out there don't know what our 7th Amendment to our Constitution is. It is the right to a trial by jury.
Right.
Okay? I don't need some judge that's been appointed by some king deciding my fate because he wants to please the king. I want my fellow community members sitting there and listening to my dispute, to listening to what it is that's been done to me or my family or anybody else, or has been that I want that. And so we have to learn these things. We have to learn our history. You started off with free, and you started off with knowing our history, or we're bound to repeat it. And those are two things that I could not agree with you more on, Vernon.
Yeah.
That is what we have to do. Okay, we have to repeat it. So yes, it's education. Hell, most of the time you could go ask 90% of the people out there who our U.S. senators are. I mean, the problem is it is incumbent upon us as a society and in our community. I want to take it down to our community, to our Pensacola community, to come together, to educate, for people to learn. I can tell you some of the speakers that we have at Unity Fest over the last few years, I can tell you they are insightful. They are educational. They are powerful, because when we talk about these things, people are shocked. When I talk about the fact that at the Dozier School for Boys, the Dozier School for Boys, when I talk about the atrocities that happened at that school in Marianna, Florida, just down the road from Pensacola, right there, in our state, a state-run institution, when I talk about the horrors and the fact that they would rip these children out of their beds and take them to the White House, a white cinder block house, and I talk about the fact that literally these kids were living in fear night after night, whether they were going to be taken to that White House. And inside that White House, you know what they had? No. They had two beating rooms and 2 rape rooms. Now, why 2 of each? Because God forbid you rape and beat a white child in the same bed that you just raped and beat a black child.
Wow.
That was not in the 1800s. That was not in the 1700s. That was not in the 1600s. That was in our generation. In our generation, this school was open for 100 years. It only closed in 2011. I mean, think about that. These atrocities, and they're happening in our backyards. That's the other thing, that we can't stick our head in the sand and think, oh, well, somebody else is going to take care of this. Somebody else will handle this. Somebody else will do this, that, or the other thing. Nobody's coming. Nobody is coming. We have to be and police and protect our society, our values, our morals, our free.
Yeah, true. That is true. That is true. All right, Marcel.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask. All right, Unity Fest coming up.
Hey, Vernon, that is the longest time I have seen Pastor Davis sit and not say something.
I'm saying the same thing.
I can tell. You can see him leaning into the screen every about 30 seconds. Like, okay, all right, I'm gonna get it.
All right, Marcel, Reverend Davis, your turn now, okay? Hey, Troy. He's a preacher man. And you know these preacher men.
Preachers gotta preach.
They gotta preach. They gotta have a pulpit here. All right, Reverend Davis, here's your pulpit right now. Okay?
Hey, look, I'm glad to know that I've got an influence on Troy. Did he not close it out? Did he not start it out? The only thing he didn't do, he didn't hoop, and we didn't have an organ behind him. But he was ready, man. He's ready.
You better ordain him then, okay?
That's right. Got to get him ordained. So
get him an ordained in the black church, okay?
Absolutely. Hey, so let's talk about Unity Fest Juneteenth celebration and what we're going to do this year. We're going to change the way you think about the number 47. 47 years ago, Jimmy Carter in 1979, he signed an act that called Black History Music Appreciation Month. So this
June, which is June is Music Appreciation Month. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So this year we're going to have great entertainment. We're going to have from the sacred music, from the music that helped us get free, like Wade in the Water, Trouble Don't Last Always. We're going to bring it up to the gospel movement that we had. We're going to bring it up to the folklore movement that we had. And before we get into the blues music, Mr. Blues Hound, we're going to talk about the blues music. Then we're going to talk about the military music that shaped our life. and how the jazz music shaped our life. Then we're going to either bring on performers from like the movement where the North was coming to the South to help us to register vote. And so we're going to bring on some of those songs that like Dylan's song and If I Had a Hammer, I Hammer in the Morning. We're going to bring on all those songs this year. So it's going to be a great night of it, a great day of entertainment. You know, we're going to have rap music, we're going to have hip hop, all that helped to shape our culture so that we hope that this music will remind us that it's more that unites us than that divides us, because music is that avenue that we can all relate to and come together with. So we're looking forward to a spectacular Unifest, a day that's all about fellowship. I think about the Brumman Corner that we have in that Unifest, where they're going to be playing checkers and just running their trap, just talking. And so hopefully that young people can learn about, you know, some history of Pensacola, the do's and the don'ts, and make some things happen. So we're very appreciative of Troy for being the sponsor of this event, so that you won't have to feel pressured to bring your kids out that day. The kids are going to eat free. You're going to eat free. Unlimited snow cones that day, popcorn, and just come out and just make a new friend. Is what we want you to do. We want you to make a new friend. We want you to talk about supporting each other and supporting our community to make it a better place to live. And so that's what Unity Fest is all about. I do not take credit for this. We have a wonderful Unifest committee that works hard on this, that's chaired by Dr. Michael Roberts. And I'm glad that my daughters have got involved this year and basically took a lot of things off my plate. Sometimes we don't agree because they just want to spin. But it all works out. It all works out for our good. So we're looking forward to, Vernon, for people to just, you know, one of the biggest things that we get on survey from vendors is that they say, well, you know, I was a little afraid because I thought it was a Black holiday, but I came and I had the time of my life. It's not a Black holiday. We the people, in order to perform a more perfect union, have to come together. We the people, all people, red, yellow, black, and white, we're all precious in His sight, and we all make up America. And so when we look at how America has been birthed and how America is going to celebrate 250 years, it just wasn't one group of people. It was all of us coming together somehow, some way. And so music always brought us together. So this year at Unifest, come out. Expect the best happen. You know, and I'm from the old school. I've looked at the Farmer's Almanac for that day. God's going to give us a great day. It's going to be a little overcast, but it's going to be a great day. And we've been having perfect weather for this June. So we're looking forward to just a good day on that. Okay.
I just love the fact that that Pastor Davis is predicting the weather 2 weeks down the road. That's great. He's doing a better job. Heck,
Well, hey,
I can't predict it looking out the window.
Well, see, the difference between me and you and he, and me and you, and then him, he got divine intervention, or he got direct. So he knows. But I want to get back.
If you look at my phone, I don't know if you can see it. If you look at something I put on the
out of focus there. No, we can't see it because you got it out of focus.
Something
there.
I put on the book every year is the Old Farmer's Almanac. I still read the Old Farmer's Almanac.
There you go.
One of the things I do want to, you're talking about music, and June is Black Music Month, and but I'm glad you brought that element in there because they say that music is a universal language, and that we can all relate to. And I think that aspect of it is going to be absolutely great for. Now, I want to get back to another point, and I don't know what you said earlier about the people that get involved in sponsorships, and is this a Black thing and so forth. I don't know about you guys, but I tell you, with this administration, being a Black business is really kind of hard because I lost business because of this crazy stuff they're talking about, DEI and stuff like that. And I used to be able to sell spots for Black history and sell stuff for Juneteenth. And now those businesses that I used to could rely upon, a lot of them won't touch it. Not that they're bad business, but they don't want to touch it now because they think it might create issues or whatever. Have y'all experienced that as far as getting sponsored for your UniFest?
Well, I tell you what, Troy is the major sponsor for Unity Fest. So him and his law firm, Rafferty, Dominic, Cunningham, and Yaffa, which has offices here in Pensacola, West Palm Beach, and also an office now in Jacksonville that's recently opened. They're the major sponsor for this event. But if we could talk about that for a second, Vernon, which is a good segue. You remember when the Macmillan 9 or Macmillan 10,
Macmillan 10, yeah,
went to Supreme Court. Well, this year, Troy, we honored the Macmillan 10 at an event that honors the people that was the few that flew. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So what I want?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, what I think is important, because you worked in the HR department on the base during those times. What I want people to recognize and realize that, trust me, these are going to go back to the court again. And if you heard Troy talk about the Seventh Amendment, when these go back to the court, we have to be organized. Right now, we have single districts in our Escambia County area based on the fact that we took it to court. Now, we have to be aware, and we have to start preparing right now in case that case goes back to court. We can hire lawyers. We can get people motivated, and we can make some things happen. Now, you asked a question about sponsorship, so we're glad to have Mr. Rafferty as a sponsor. But I want to tell people this: don't be afraid. Our diversity, our inclusion, and our equity is what made America great. Exactly. Don't be despised. So some people, and because of this political climate, I'm glad you brought this out. Some people have to be afraid because they've lost out. They've lost all money. If you look at how in this fact in the Maryland area, I think it's like 35,000 African American women were laid off their jobs because of the color of their skin. But I think that it's important, as Troy said, about the man who asked, can the Holocaust happen again? Yes, it can. What we're dealing with right now, we're seeing Jim Crow 2.0. Okay? We're seeing it take place right now. So, we have to gird up ourselves to say, not on our watch. When we look at the people in the 60s and 70s that came together and said, not on our watch, we have to do the same thing. So that's why the three themes that we have here: rejoice, reflect, and remember. And so we rejoice for the fact that God has always seen us through. But it's important for us, as it's said in the book of Exodus, to remind your people of what they went through. Okay? Then when we get to that point, remembrance is so important. So here I am. I'm turning 60 this year, thanks God. But I remember the fight of the Macmillan 10. I remember them raising money. I remember them going to Mobile, Alabama to court. I remember a bunch of aircraft mechanics, WG workers coming together and go all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Now we're more educated. We're making more money. So I hope that the people in the community recognize and realize, if you like Colin Lumen May, you might not have that change if they take us back to where we have open seats where it's countywide. You might not be able to call your county commissioner. You might not be able to call your school board rep. You might not be able to call those because now we're voting county at wide. So it's something, Vernon, that we got to start talking about right now, so that we can make sure that we can keep what we have. And it's only 2 more years through this administration, and I think we can weather the storm.
Well, hopefully now, but 2 more years. Can you imagine? He's only been in this 15 months now, and how much damage has been occurred. And for 2.5 more years, can we undo the damage? That's the thing. We got. I don't know. Y'all help me out. Help me understand what can we do. I feel helpless sometimes when I hear what's going on.
This is our country. Okay. This is our country. This isn't any one man's country. This isn't any one group's country. This is our country, and we have to take it back. We have to take it back. We have to fight for the morals and the values and the equality that we all deserve and need. And that's why, this all starts with education. It starts with once again, getting back to what you talked about, Blues Hound, what we got to get back to these things. We got to get back to the idea that we are all in this together. We are all in this together, and we can't. Giving back to our communities, lifting other people up, taking care of our children, taking care of the poor, taking care of the elderly. I mean, talk about the children. Our children are under attack every day. Okay, large corporations are taking advantage of our minority communities, of our children, of anybody they can. They will take advantage of it. The powerful and the rich will take advantage of you if they have the opportunity. And we have to make sure that we are vigilant, because it is upon us, all of us, to monitor, to police, to do the things that we need to do in order to make sure that especially society should be measured on how we care for the weakest and the least among us. That's how society should be measured. How do we handle the less fortunate, the people who are not blessed? Okay, how do we help them? And that's what Unity Fest is all about. It's all about, and it's not a black holiday. It's not a black event. It is a unity event. Okay, it is a time for us as a community to reflect on that. Frederick Douglass is one of his best sayings. I have it on my desk at the office every day. It is far easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Okay, we have to take care of our children, and right now our children are under attack. People, at Rafferty, Dominic, Cunningham, Yaffa, RDCY, we take on causes, not cases. That's what I say. I mean, every case to us is a cause. Okay, it is something we need to fight for. It is something that's important to not just one particular client, but also to this society as a whole, our system as a whole. And that's what we need to be focusing on. And right now, we have, with the huge onslaught of technological advances that are occurring and have occurred in the last 10 years. And now you've got AI, and you've got all these online platforms. Our children, 40% of children between the ages of 8 and 12 are on social media platforms. 40%. Nobody's policing that stuff. Nobody's seeing what they've got. Roblox, one of the most popular educational games, is how it's marketed. It's far from that. But there are 70 million daily users of Roblox online. And the vast majority of those, millions of them, are children under the age of 13. And what happens is you now have a playground for pedophiles coming on, where your children are going onto these platforms. They're looking at whatever it is. Roblox, for example, has Escape to Epstein Island as one of the games.
Whoa, seriously?
It has, yes. It has avatars that crawl into beds with kids. It has some of the usernames you would floor you, Vernon. Some of the usernames, I am a pedophile. Literally, one of the usernames. I mean, it is crazy. Right now, when we were growing up, you knew everybody in your neighborhood. You knew your kid, you knew your teachers, and you knew who was pumping gas down at the station. You knew who everybody was. You knew when you walked into the diner who the waitresses were. And if something weird was going on, you knew, and you believed, and you had a right to believe that if your children were at home with you, they were safe. Okay? If they're at home with you and they're in their bedroom, they're safe. It's protected. Now, people that are trying to hurt your children, people who are trying to infiltrate your home and take advantage of you and your children, don't have to jimmy a lock. They don't have to break a window. They don't. They're in there through the internet. They just go right in there. And while parents who are trying to be good parents, who try to take care of their children, who are trying to be protective, they don't know, because they didn't experience this. Because when we were kids, we didn't have these types of problems. We didn't have to deal with the technology that people are dealing with right now, that these kids are facing. And I got to tell you, we did a town hall recently, just last week, and it is so eye-opening. We brought together, RDCY, we brought together for our community a group of people, counselors, law enforcement, educators, people that, legislators, lawyers. We brought everybody together to talk about this problem with online abuse, online problems the pedophilia, the grooming, all of these horrible things. And I got to give a shout out to our Escambia County Sheriff Department, because I'll tell you what, one of the officers that handles these complaints of online sexual predators and these pedophiles spoke. And I got to tell you, the work they do to protect our community and our children is inspiring, because think about it. These officers have to sit there and watch and look at the most grotesque, the most vile, the most evil things on a daily basis. And you have to be trained, and you have to be psychologically able to handle those types of situations. And I give all of the credit in the world to the work that the law enforcement is doing. But I will tell you this, they can't do it. To Escambia County. This is happening all over the country, and law enforcement is being tasked with doing this, and it's unmanageable if we are not, as a community, and if we are not as parents, getting involved in how to police this and holding them accountable in our court system. And that's what we do. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we fight for every day, is walking into that great equalizer, the courtroom, and try to make sure that we are taking these pedophiles, these abusers, these people that are harming our society, our communities, and our children, and hold them accountable. So I want to say thank you to the sheriff, who I see just joined us. And
Thanks, Troy. I appreciate it. Good stuff.
Troy, he's on every Friday for years. He's been on our show for years. And when Robert Hill, started in Robert Hill's days, and after Hill left and I kind of took over the mantra, he continued. And Sheriff, I want to thank you for that. And I think it makes a big difference in our community. And Sheriff, while I'm thinking about that, I got a couple of people gonna call and want to call in and ask you some questions as well. But I'm gonna get back to Troy now before we wrap up. Troy, y'all got anything else? Or you're welcome to stay on with the sheriff if you want to. But
I just want to say thank you to the Blues Hound for having us on.
No problem.
I want to say thank you to the sheriff for all the great work he and his entire department do in protecting us. And I want to say thank you to everybody. And I want to encourage everybody to come out. It's a day of unity. It's totally free. You will not pay for anything. You come in, you get entertained, you get educated, you see the resources that are out there, how you can access those resources, and how you can help others. There's all sorts of great organizations out there. So I just want to encourage everybody to come out to Unity Fest, June 19th. And I want to thank Pastor Davis and Adoration from New Beginning Church and the great committee. I always say I've got the easy job. I just write the check. And I walk in and see all the beautiful stuff and all the hard work that's taking place behind the scenes and has erupted into this beautiful community event. And so it's a great honor to be a small part of it. And so thank you. And thank you for having us on, Vernon.
All right. Now, thank you. I appreciate. Thank you. And Pastor Davis for coming on and giving the community an opportunity to let us know what's going on. And thank y'all for your service that you do for the community. You do a lot of things for this community. And we want you to know that we really appreciate it. Okay.
You're welcome. Well, McGruff takes a bite out of crime, but we chip away at the crime.
Speaking of chip,
how long do you think he's been waiting to use that one?
For years, I bet you, for years.
He had the perfect opportunity, huh?
I'll tell you what, though, before they get off, if you could, let me just say a thank you to Troy, to Marcel. I think you guys have done a lot for our community, and I think sometimes that goes unnoticed, certainly from people in my profession. We tend to kind of get narrow-minded, or we tend to get focused on one thing. But I want to say a special thank you to you, to both of you, for doing what you do to help. I've never picked up the phone and called either one of them, and they told me no. So I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome, Chip. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
Enjoy your weekend, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank y'all, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Okay. We'll see you at Unity Fest. Okay. All right. Chip, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Kind of makes me feel good to know that when I come onto your show, you got someone on there that's working on something for the good, something for the community, and it's always for a good cause. Obviously, Troy's got a lot of passion for children, and he showed that not just with his checkbook, but also with his time, and again his passion and work. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, Troy. Chip. I got you popular because folks always calling during the week, and they want to ask you questions. You up to taking the call?
Yes, I'm always up to take a call. If I don't know the answer, I can get it.
I got a call standing by.
Hang on for a minute. Caller, are you on? Caller, are you on?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, is the sheriff on?
Sheriff, can you hear? Can you hear the call?
I can hear.
Yes, he can hear. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Sheriff. Ellison Bennett here.
Good morning.
The Brown family, the husband is retired military. He works for the government out of town, but his wife had called me on Wednesday and asked me to reach out to you. Their son's death had been ruled a homicide. It was October the 11th, 2025, and they would like to sit down with you because they don't know you. They're trying to learn in Escambia County, and they just grieving right now. And I told them I'll reach out to you, try to give you a call. The last name is Brown. I can't remember. I think she said her name was Teresa Brown. I'm not sure.
Yes,
but,
no, I'm familiar with the case.
They're just trying to get some closure about their son's death.
Yes. We've been contacting our investigators. Our investigators right now are wrapping up the case.
Ellison, you're probably not going to be able to hear him, but here's the response unless you hang up and listen to it, okay?
And I'm having trouble, Vernon. This phone is crazy this morning. Would he be willing to call me after he get off the air?
Yes, Ellison, I'll give you a call.
Okay, I'll stand by for his call. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you now. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Chip.
Okay, yeah, no, I appreciate that. We're certainly willing to talk to anyone. But, we want to be transparent. We want to make sure everyone understands what takes place. That call was reference to a situation. We worked a death investigation that was ultimately ruled a homicide. And it doesn't mean someone's guilty of homicide. What it means is that it is a death at the hands of another individual. Oftentimes there are justifiable homicide. Every law enforcement action, every officer involved shooting that results in a death is also ruled a homicide. And so I think I want to be cautious about using that term and just automatically assuming that someone committed a crime. There may well be justifiable reasons for it. So our investigators, just for those who are listening, and if Ellison's even listening, our investigators are wrapping up the investigation. We did get the final report from the medical examiner's office, and that's where the family it was ruled a homicide, but it does not mean that we're going to make an arrest. What it means is we're going to evaluate, and with that final piece of the puzzle, work with the state attorney's office, and then make a determination from there.
Okay. All right. Another lady she wanted to give you a call this morning. The lady that we had on 2 or 3 times ago about having the event down at used to be up on what's the name of the oh God, Chip, when you get old, remember the second thing to go where they're gonna have the second community love affair block party. Remember her? Dr. Steele, she was on several times ago, and she talked about, and she asked you about getting the horses and stuff like that to the event, and she had called and she wanted to have a question about that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you go through our community services, if you go onto our website and you reach out to them, they have the master schedule. I don't know. I'd love to say, yeah, we'll send everyone, but I don't know. I've learned my lesson, Vernon, because I'm a fan of saying yes to everything. I'll meet with everybody. I'll go to every event, and then I realize, well, I can't go to 2 events or 3 events at one time. I can't allocate our motor unit to 3 or 4 different events at one time. But that's why we have a calendar, and that's why I even learned let's check the calendar first. So what we'll have to do, we have a community services calendar, and if you will hit our hit up on our social media platforms and our website, then you can reach out directly to them.
Yeah, I think she had mentioned the fact that you told her and she did what you told her to do, but nobody made. I don't think she got a decision made about it. In fact, that's her calling right now. Let me ask her.
Okay, yeah, I'll take her number down and we'll call her.
Call her. Go ahead. If you got call her. Go ahead and ask your question. And say he'll call you. But go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, okay. Good morning. I'm calling because I have been trying to connect with someone at the sheriff's office, and I've been promised a phone call as we're having the community there on Truman Avenue between S Street and Kelly Avenue, and we're trying to get the posse to come out with the horses and show off a little bit and help secure us up a little bit on June 27th. That's the last Saturday in June from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And someone was supposed to call me after they returned from Washington, D.C. Around Memorial time, and I have not received that call yet. Am I able to connect with that person, or can someone get that?
If you want, you can give me the number now, and I'll have someone call you. But I do need to tell you that our equestrian unit, the individual that has been supervising and coordinating everything, has retired, and there's no one else that we can get that can handle the horses. So the horses are in a state of flux right now. But if you want, I can get your phone number. Vernon can text it to me if you don't want to give it to me right here on the air. And I can certainly have someone call you today and find out what if there's some availability for some of our other assets.
Okay.
All right, Chip. I have her. I can get the number. That's why I don't like to call my. I was using my cell phone. It done died. It's died on. But I'll text you her number.
Okay.
After I get off of here.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to some other things, Chip. How things been going this week in law enforcement?
Things going good. We put out a video yesterday. We had a lady and some other people, but the lady has been arrested so far, and we're still working on it. She was doing some car burglaries, and 5 total car burglaries. Stole 2 guns from those cars, and we had a video. So we put the video out to show people, not obviously not to shame somebody. We just say, hey, this is how they do it. This is how fast they do it. Because people think, oh, I don't see how they can do it if I'm parked in front of a store or if I'm parked at a business. I don't see how they can do it. Well, they do it quickly. And we put a video out showing exactly how she did it.
Hey, Chip, I wish I had to copy your video. I got to get it. But, every morning I go over the news headlines, right? Mm-hmm. And I try to feature some of the stupid crimes of the week. And she was featured this morning on my stupid crimes of the week. Well, the thing that 2 things we got to be careful about. One on the criminal end and one on the recipient end. Now, criminals ought to know everything's caught on camera these days. I don't care what you do. They get lucky if they don't get caught on camera. They ought to know that for the first thing. But the second thing is that. How many times you've mentioned this on your show many times. I talk to the city, I always talk about lock your car. Mm-hmm. Lock your car. Just make sure that your car is locked. Even if you're going to run into the store for 5 minutes, lock your car, because that is just a crime of opportunity. It's a crime just waiting to happen. People come in and see that your car unlocked. Even in your driveway, lock your car, because an invitation for people to commit crimes. And I said this morning, and folks said, "Well, I was in there for 5 minutes." Well, it's just like speeding or whatever. You might have been in there for 5 minutes, but when you come back, your car been burglarized. Now you got to call the cops. Now you still delayed an hour. So what did you gain?
And oftentimes you lose. Some people leave their wallets in there. They leave money in their car. In this case, again, there's two of the five. There were firearms left in the car, and both of the firearms are now gone, and we have not recovered them yet. So they're out on the streets of Escambia County. They could be somewhere else, but the perception here is that they are in the streets of Escambia County, and that's obviously that ain't cool. And we want people to know, hey, this is the person that's doing this. And she was arrested 32 times. And I'm not sure about the convictions. She's arrested 32. Sometimes we lump them together. Sometimes they drop these charges and move forward with these charges. But 32 times. This lady needs to be in prison, and she needs to be in prison for a while because she doesn't learn. She doesn't care. And no one likes a thief, right? And yeah, we tell people lock your car doors, use your head, lock your car doors, but it doesn't excuse a thief. Just because you leave your car unlocked doesn't mean someone has a right to enter your car and take your stuff. It's not right. And I was tired of it. I said, you know what? She also robbed or stolen from a car on Pensacola Beach. She had two cars at State Farm Insurance Company. In this case, it's just ridiculous what she's doing. She's just driving around town and checking on people's cars. You see what she does. She did a little hip check to it and checking on it because she didn't want anyone to know what she's doing. She knew it was unlocked, and she went back in there and fumbled through the back and fumbled through the front, and then she took off. I just, criminals. I have no love for criminals.
Yeah, I do understand too. And Chip, I always have a little fun with it on the news in the morning. And I understand about criminals. They I guess the dumb criminals, they do some major crimes, right? But they get caught with minor things like speeding or something like that, or running a stop sign, and that's how they end up getting busted. Thank God for that. But it's just amazing to me. But anyway, go ahead. I just thought.
Well, you mentioned that there's cameras everywhere, and I know that there's a lot of conversation about flock cameras and different surveillance things. Every camera that the Escambia County Sheriff's Office has is in a public right of way. The photograph or the video that we showed yesterday was from the business themselves. But we also have video of her and another person that we'll announce a little later on. Her and another person were burglarizing a vehicle in Casino Beach in parking lot, and those were sheriff's office towers. They were able to see them walking through the parking lot, checking doors, and entering the car, and then stealing stuff from. That's where they got a gun from that car. Again, we have our own cameras, and all we're trying to do is keep people safe and keep people's property secure. And if the thought there is that, oh, I can't commit a crime because there's cameras everywhere, then good. I can't steal a car because they might put my license plate on one of their license plate readers on a public roadway. Then if they don't want to do it because of that, then that's good. If we find a stolen car because a car passes by a license plate reader and it alerts one of our deputies that are in the area, and we capture them, that's good. These are all good things to me. And I think it has been a game changer for law enforcement. And I hope people understand you're not going to get away with these crimes. So stop trying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this before you go. Do you think the cameras have contributed to the decrease in crime?
I think there's a number of things that you look at it, and we have been studying crime for 100 years now, and some of it is some people are aging out. Some of it is it's just not detectable enough because people used to buy and sell drugs on the street corner, and now they're able to meet with somebody somewhere else, so we don't get a phone call about it. So there's probably fewer instances where we get called to a drug deal on a street corner. But I do think that the fact that law enforcement is out there, the fact that we have cameras out there, certainly acts as a deterrence. And I think that's why we have marked cars in the first place. We have it's the deterrent effect to preventing crime. And so yes, I do think that the surveillance videos. There's a reason we had a bank robbery this week, but it's probably the first one we've had in over a year. And we used to have a lot more bank robberies. Why do we have bank robberies now? Because of all the videos and all the security measures that take place. And so I think if it worked for bank robbers, it's certainly going to work for other criminal endeavors as well.
Wow. Okay. All right. I know you got to get to your staff meeting. Chip, is there anything else you want to talk about this morning?
No, I'm going to try to give Ellison a call real quick before I get my staff meeting. And I just want to say how much I appreciate you. Let me get on. I love hearing from your guests before I start talking. And I love the great things that are taking place in Escambia County. So I'll see you next week.
All right. I'm going to text you Dr. Steele's number that having that event. My phone died in the middle of her conversation. So, but because I don't like for them to call in on my cell phone because it's only one way communications anyway. But I'll text it to you, Chip, and I appreciate your time. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Vernon.
Okay.
Y'all take care.
Thank you now. All right, y'all. Now, Chip Simmons every Friday at 8:30, just like clockwork. He comes in and he's not afraid of questions. He answers the questions, very helpful. And obviously very popular because people call me during the week. Well, did you ask the sheriff this or that or other? So, well, I remember it, and half the time I forget when they ask me in the middle of the week. But anyway, y'all, I want to finish before we get out of here. We were talking about some community events that I wanted to touch on before I go. I was talking with I believe I was talking about an event that's going on tomorrow. We call it that I want you to get to tomorrow at 3:00. It's called Beats for Babies, where the Zetas is having their Beat for Babies R&B bingo. And I'm gonna try to make that because I never been to. I don't, even though I'm an old ass man, but I don't go to bingo. You know, old folks, they say old folks should go to bingo. So I'm gonna try to go to bingo tomorrow because they said, and since she said I was a DJ and they're gonna have music and stuff like that, and you hear your music, but I want to try to make that, okay? And you should try to make it too. You're gonna be at the Woodland Community Center there on Berkeley Drive, and I believe it's going to start around 3:00 in the afternoon. It's a fundraiser, y'all. It's a fundraiser, okay? Fundraiser. Okay, I think I do. Who this? Cliff. Good morning. How you doing? I'm not cutting. Did I cut out early? No, I know. I was trying to. Thank you for no. I was trying to get some community events in here, like Cliff. Do you do bingo? Okay. Well, listen. If you're doing bingo, you need to go tomorrow. This is a fundraiser. If you like music, right? June is Music Month, Black Music Month, and see how well your knowledge about what music is. Okay, how and I don't know much about bingo, but they say it's going to be fun. So you ought to try that out and see it tomorrow. It's at 3:00 at the Woodlands Community Center. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna be in Louisiana tomorrow. So my mom's only got one sister left.
Oh,
and,
really?
She's 81 years old, so I try to make sure I get to spend some quality time with her. You know, it's good reminiscent of my mom. So, but I'll spend a day with her, and then I'll be back here Sunday. But I would love to go to bingo over there at Woodlands. I try to go to a lot of the communities. I just left Fricker Center right now.
Did you?
Because I was checking out Fricker because I heard Ellison talking about some stuff on your show, and I was let me get eyes on what's going on at Fricker. And I got to tell you, obviously he's right. It is a construction zone. But I did look at the area where they they are digging a trench for for water runoff. It's not as deep as I thought it was. I actually walked inside of it. It's a little wet right now. But I mean, it's obviously a construction zone, that whole area, and it's going to get worse as they continue to do more work. But I got some thoughts on some things I might get with the city on the day and see what we can do to make sure the contract is good.
Yeah, Ellis was a little concerned that some kids might fall in there or something like that. That was his concern about that.
Yeah, but it's not like a well, like that depth. It's one of those. It's a gradual slope, right? And it's basically a retention pond.
Right.
So, yeah. Obviously, it's still a safety concern, and that's one of the things I want to look at. But I definitely think most kids, at least me being obviously running around the streets as a young kid, can walk down that thing and walk right out of it too. So it's not like a whale where you get in there and man, you're stuck. Yeah. And that's what I really wanted to make sure was that we didn't have no big sort of like whale thing here, which would really be alarming. But it's still obviously it's a concern. I'm definitely not dismissing it. The mayor and I talked about it, and I told him I'd get eyes on it, and so I just got eyes on it because what you guys put out on the radio, that's important to us as a city to one follow up, make sure we get a look at it, and then take action. So that's my next step is to take action.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He was concerned about he also mentioned about the kids getting into the building playing basketball.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point there. I just looked at the basketball court as well, walked the whole court. Right now, there's nothing on the court but obviously but a basketball goes. Like I think it's 3 of them or 2 of them or whatever. And there's no construction equipment in that vicinity where they could play at. What I want to talk to the parks director about, and maybe the contractors can fence that particular area, because we're not going to be messing with that area anyway. But if they can put a fence there, right, to separate it from the construction site, and those kids can maybe go on the back side of it and still play basketball. I don't, and not necessarily be in harm's way. You see what I'm saying? But I got to get with them today. I'll talk to them, and by Tuesday, I'll have some sort of update for you to kind of make sure we get that word out. Because as kids, it's summer, right? And the kids that live in the close vicinity, if we could make it so they can play, I mean, that's less things for them to get, less mischievous stuff for them to get into, right? I know as a kid, I enjoyed hanging out with my friends and, being in the neighborhood, whether it's playing football all day, whether it's playing basketball all day, or playing video games, which we did in moderation. But our focus mainly was on being on outside. And I think it's critical if we can get something where these kids can be outside. I think that's super helpful. Obviously, you got kids that want to be out there and play. So, I mean, we can't knock them for that, right? We'd rather them be outside than sitting in the house all day playing, Xbox or Nintendo.
Well, that's true. That is true. And because those kids love to play basketball, and his concern was, and they direct in the neighborhood, and I don't know where the next closest court is. You know what I'm saying? And as long as it's there, they're going to try to work their way in there.
Oh yeah, it's a way. It's close, but I mean the next one, I think it's like 5 or 6 blocks. I mean, as a kid, again, in my frame of reference, 5 or 6 blocks. I never even thought about it as far as distance because I would just go. But also, if you got something that's in close proximity, I think it's a natural inclination for these kids to say, "Man, we got something right here. Why can't we just go play?" So I'll look at it. He raised great points, and I appreciate his advocacy for the kids, for the community. That matters because without that voice, right, people would get on some of these issues, right?
Yeah,
so
that
for
is
him
true.
to keep raising them, that is paramount. That's a voice for the people, and the mayor is connected with that. He wants to make sure that, hey, if we hear something, we see something, say something, and obviously he's doing that. So like I said, the next step for us is take action. Let's do something about it. And so my job is to take a look at. I couldn't help myself but jump on this morning because I have been. Just so you know my routine, I get up, I work out, and on my way back from my workout, because I'm usually doing at least about a 4-mile sort of walk and jog, I jump on your show and I listen to you from the time I finish the workout until the time I get, in the truck to go to work. And so thank you really for what you do for the community, because you are connecting a lot of dots. You are bringing people on who's adding significant value to the people, and they got to listen to you. And I think it's hearing it is one part, but taking action is the second part. Because you get some good information out there, and obviously raising the right alarms, because when I was on active duty and I used to have legal cases, there was sometimes, I would try to find the good in people. And I had a case one time, and I had a young, an E7, a chief petty officer, where she had been in a store and she kind of picked up an item, put it back, picked it up, put it back, picked it up, put it back. And she ended up somehow at some point, she ended up putting it in a bag, and she walked out the store and she got caught for stealing. Now, in my mind, I rationalized that I've been at that point where I wanted to buy something. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Then I wanted to buy it and I didn't, but I never walked out and I stole it, or it ended up in my bag. Well, anyway, in her case, I was trying to find the good and say, maybe it was a plausible mistake, right? And then my attorney said, well, it's hard to misinterpret her actions, right? And so it was right there when she put the nail in the coffin, because at that point I realized that no matter how much in my mind I wanted to rationalize it, I have a seasoned sailor who's an E7, and the way we look at chiefs, as you know, they've been tried and tested, they've been through the process. So I had to do the appropriate thing as far as discipline. But I say all that to say is that when you think about things and some of the stuff you talk about, this political climate, where we're going, what we see, it's hard to misinterpret the actions we see. Right?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It really is. And so at that point, people have to reckon with themselves and say, well, now I see the action. I understand what the action means to me. Now, how do I move out in this space? And I mean, your guests today, I thought they were pretty clear and on point. This is about a unity. It's about unity of effort. It's about unity of drive. All those things matter, because without that unity, to your point earlier, history can repeat itself.
Yeah, that is so true, Cliff. That is so true. Well, thank you for jumping on and filling up my time. But I wasn't gonna go early. I wasn't gonna. All right. I'm always. I try to get in on time and leave on time. But I always. But you know what they say? I come early. What the old saying is? I come late, but I leave early to make up for it.
Right. Exactly. Well, now I couldn't help myself. I wanted to say thank you for what you do. Really, I mean, people might not, and a lot of people said it today, but sometimes it's a thankless job, and you are really doing good stuff to keep those touch points together. So I couldn't help myself. I had to jump on to say that to you.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like Rodney Dangerfield, though, Cliff. You know, sometimes it don't feel appreciated, and sometimes it's just. You're the last one to know about stuff. And but again, I do this show not for profit. I don't make no money at this show. I make no money. In fact, what I'm doing for my whole venture here, I'm like you. It's just a community thing. It's my service to the community. It's my commitment to the community. If I was a preacher, I would say it's my ministry. And I don't make no money at it. As long as I got a television station, radio station, as long as I make enough money to pay the bills, I'm fine with it. And then a lot of times, sometimes I didn't make enough money to pay the bills. But anyway, I did it. I did it anyway. Did it on my own. I've been doing it for 35 years now. And so I think we all owe something back to our community. Okay. And I think let me tell you this, Cliff, before I get off the phone. The reason I started a television station 30 years ago is because back in the 90s, we had no presence, very few presence of television on TV, black folks on TV. And the one that was on there was just national stuff. But locally, there was no black faces on local TV that you had locally. And so we even though we had black radio, but we had black newspapers and stuff like that. We didn't have a TV station that had our interest. So that's the reason I started the station in the first place. Okay. And I'm just like any other business. I'm a for-profit business. If people think I'm a non-profit business, people think the government paid me to do this. But we're not. I'm doing it out of the service to the community, and I'm still doing it. So, but at any rate, that's what I want to do. I think it's important that the community have a point of connection that we can talk about things that relates to us and the things that passed on through our community. Back in the 60s and the 70s, you know, they passed the word through the churches, and then you had, you know, black newspapers and stuff like that. But as time progresses, all those things begin to go away. And so we still have to have a source of connection. That's why I like to call myself the voice of the black community, so that we can have a voice from our own perspective.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'd love to see how helpful, because I love the information that you put out. I love the touch point. So I like I said, hopefully the people that are listening, they realize that listening is only one piece of it. There's that other piece is taking action.
Action speak louder than words.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Wow. Well, I'll see you Tuesday. The mayor is going to be out of town, so I'll be jumping on. And like I said, I'll have an update on Fricker Center, and obviously be ready to talk about the Baptist Project, where we are with that, and sort of where we're moving out on other stuff. But keep doing what you're doing. It's very impressive.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
All right, sir. Take care.
All right, y'all. That's Cliff calling y'all on Tuesday morning. He's the word from the city. He's the Cliff. Give me your title again so that folks know.
Yeah,
it's more than HNIC.
So what mine is? I'm the associate city administrator. I got sort of a lot of the key departments that fall under me. If you think about, you know, development services, permitting, you think about economic development, CRA, all of that stuff falls under me. Child care access, that falls under me. And then facilities for the city. Every building we have, all the facilities that we maintain, police cars, fire cars, I mean, all of that falls under my purview. So it's a pretty large portfolio. I'm excited to just be able to do something and give back, kind of like you. And then, you know, we got, you know, David is sort of what I look at as the city administrator at large. And then you got Amy, who's the deputy. She kind of looks over sort of our enterprise organizations, whether it's, you know, the port, the airport, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you on Tuesday. He's on Tuesday. When the mayor's not on, Cliff is on, y'all. And they never fail me. They're on every Tuesday at we're on at 8 a.m., right? 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yep. 0800.
All right. 0800. Aye, sir.
All right.
All right, y'all. We got to get out of here. I'll see you. Today is the weekend, so I will see you the Monday. So y'all have a great weekend. And go to the bingo and go to all the other kind of stuff that's happening this weekend. And Monday morning we'll come back and we'll talk about go to the beach. Be careful when you go out to the beach. Understand that there's rip current and red flags been raised. So if you go out there, we don't have to report Monday morning somebody missing because of riptide or somebody missing because of sharks. So, but we want you to have a great weekend. I'll see you guys and ladies first thing Monday morning, 6:30. Y'all tell everybody Vernon is on Monday morning.
It's
right?
time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. From morning.